feeling that you have when you are thinking, when you're actually trying to solve problems.
Yeah.
That's the self. That's the ego. You can't ever find it, but it's always what's allowing you to step back.
It seems that it seems to be this collective kind of moving process that has occurred as a result of objective past. Right.
Right. But it's also transcending the objective past.
In the same sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But when we say transcendence, it's definitely dependent upon the past and the stubborn facts.
Continuous with
right?
it. Yeah.
So. Because it needs, if it's going to witness, it needs something to witness. Yeah. Or else you don't get to witness anything. Therefore, you have to have the facts, the object. You have to have the brain for a mind to be able to witness the brain conceptually, don't you?
Right.
So there's a philosophy that we try to, promote more holistic, that honors a reduction. The reductionist type of philosophy. If we're going to get into it, we'll just generalize real quick.
Yeah.
Reduces consciousness to the brain and says that's that. And then
that's what Descartes allowed to happen. Descartes wasn't saying that consciousness is reducible to the brain. He was saying, the human brain is special. Everything else it's just a machine, But modern materialism has taken Descartes, which also included this whole inner psychological and spiritual element, and said that's not real, but the mechanical stuff that he said.
So they're just picking and choosing at this point.
They took half of his philosophy, and said that this is called scientific materialism, and here's all the facts that support it. If you don't believe it, then you're just stupid. That's the basic materialist perspective.
And it's so tempting because you don't want to. It's
very skeptical. It's very.
If you're skeptical and you have this reductionist type view, you're safe in a lot of the parties. You have the safe. It seems to me in this day and age you have a safe kind of like, I'm not a crazy card just because you.
Right, but at the same time, what it's ultimately saying is that I as an individual have no moral responsibility to nature or to the universe. It's saying it's just a thing that happened to exist. What do I have to do with it? I can't know anything about it. I just have these scientific facts that tell me it's probably mechanical.
And what do you say to a person that says that will say that they or feel that they have a moral obligation, but at the same time hold that very mechanistic reductionist view? Are they being hypocritical, or what do you think?
I think they're just accepting what's a very, as you said, an easy position to take philosophically. Because it sort of gets you in the door of philosophy. Like, this is scientific materialists hate philosophy. Maybe some of them appreciate it. They say they do, but they want to say really that science has replaced philosophy and we don't need it anymore. And I think philosophy doesn't end with sensory empiricism. Does it begin there? Well, it begins before sensory empiricism, because sensory empiricism is a philosophical concept. That needs to be elaborated. Like, what exactly does it mean that all you experience are sense impressions? What is a sense impression? Do you ever see one of those? You know what redness is, right? So that's or a circularness or a squareness, like books. But
yes, but there's a process going on. The senses are happening, but for the sense to happen, your eye has to be functioning properly. So it's already there's a process already happening.
Right.
That's Whitehead's process philosophy.
Yeah. Well, I think
in a sense, isn't it, our ontology?
Yeah. Well, Whitehead's important because what he's going to do is put sensory empiricism in the context of a much wider philosophical picture, which, like you're saying, we see with our eyes. Whitehead gets that from Hume. From David Hume.
And not only we're seeing in the past, in a sense, we're seeing...
Well, what we experience is really the reality like a few tenths of a second after it happened, because the energy from the outside world, vision is always the example we use. There's all kinds of other sense perception, but the photons that come off of my face and go into your eye, or any object in the room and go into your eye, have to be processed, and so it takes time for that to happen. So whatever you experience is the past. But you experience more than just the past, because you actually respond. So you anticipate and really your whole body is this evolutionary etching that's been carved into matter after thousands of years of inherited memory, memory and response. So it's just not only do our minds make themselves, but our bodies just takes longer.
Yeah.
We make ourselves by sensing the world, by receiving it and then trying to give something back.
Yeah, I mean, well, if we bring it back to the movie, though, humans are not trying to give anything back. They're trying to take. Like we're going there.
They're trying to take.
Humans are always, I mean,
hungry.
They seem to be. They have that uncurable thirst. I mean, you have someone like we won't mention. Yeah, but so if you talk about humans having this desire. You could spin that in two different ways. It could be a disease, it could be a curse, or an albatross, or it could be, it gives you a reason to want to do things. Some people are just looking for a reason. Desire gives them that answer. So there's another
desire
story.
Can't be demonized because it's very important. Plato is the example I think of. He spoke very critically of most sorts of bodily sensory desires, but the desire for the true, the good, and the beautiful, which he definitely admitted was a desire.
Yep.
It was eros, love. It was, desire isn't always bad. Desire just has to be released in the right way.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see. In this movie, it seems like there's going to be desire on both sides, but for different reasons. We
don't know the intentions of the aliens yet.
We don't, but
we're assuming we know the intentions of the humans.
It seems like they're desiring that they want to get off. Again, this is a preview video, and then it's stemming off into speculative philosophy. So we'll chop this baby up, but we might do a review video too after.
We should probably head out to that movie though. Actually.
Okay.